Hello and welcome. Welcome to Coffee Talk with Authentically Alice, where we take on the hard stuff that nobody wants to talk about. Yesterday we talked about hate and the truth of it. Hi, Emily. I think that's what that says. Hang on, let me get up my bigger screen. Maybe I can see it. What do we want to talk about? Fear. Fear is one thing we could talk about and what it does. Hey, Miss Dynamite, look at you. How you doing? Another thing we can talk about is the idea of energy vampires and the idea of protection and the idea of a lot of bullshit that we need a different idea of. A more balanced approach to the fuckery, if we don't mind. But the truth is, fear is like a very low vibration. It's like, yeah, Texas Fireball. I mean, what kind of questions? This is Coffee Talk. I'm not doing readings, but I really don't need cards for readings. So what you got? Come on, Fireball. Fire at me. I'm ready. But fear vibrates at about 100 megahertz. So anybody running around trying to get you in that state, you should really be careful of, because fear is a killer. So did you push Josh away for good? Huh. What do you think, sweetheart? Yeah. Well, tomorrow is a brand new day to try again another way. If you don't like the way things are going, change your mind. You know, in the realm of possibility, all those things that you worry about, there's 10 things that could go right. You know, all those things that can go wrong that you're manifesting and putting into action. You can start thinking about 10 things that could go right. Are they going to back pay? Well, when you find yourself in what I call, stinking thinking, oh, woe is me, I'm a victim type of shit, that's where you're gonna become what you're sitting there thinking about. So, in the realm of possibility, all that negative shit that you're thinking about, there's also positive shit that can happen. But see, we haven't trained ourselves to think in positive ways, because we've allowed the world to try and define us instead of us defining and creating the world. And, it's all backwards. Where do you start? First, you start by, you realize what you're thinking and when and how. Is it fear or faith? When will you receive it? You said appeals? Gosh, I haven't messed with Social Security in so long. I don't even know how they're doing it now. But I'm seeing something too. I'm going to say you're going to hear something about it in 2 months. As far as receiving it, it might be 6. But that's my feeling. Make sure your lawyer pushes them. Don't keep it in appeals too long, because they're actually messing with everything right now. So it's kind of hard to tell with the government what's going to happen, because they're giving all the money away to, like, people coming in. And that's just the hard truth. All these military-age men that are Middle Eastern and Chinese, and so hopefully in 6 months we're still like a solid country. But if we don't do something soon, you know, who knows? Everybody's in fear instead of banding together and realizing that there's enough in this world for everyone. But the 1% have to control it, and the 1% have to do this, and the 1% have to do that. And, you know, they're tyrants. Tyrants use fear. I would worry about how we're going to get through this next year, really. Exactly. Because half of the shit that they talk about to be afraid of, you know, do we really have any control over? But we have control over here right now, what we're doing. They can print more money. Money is just it's a misery program. It's a way, it's they call it the monster from Jekyll Island. If it happens, what are you going to do? Like all these people saying the sun's going to explode. Okay, what are you going to do? Go up there with a giant hose and cool it down? Come on. We have power right here, right now, to make a difference here, you know? Are we going to live in fear or faith? If you're living in fear, guess what? It ain't gonna work. It won't. Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, so we're all gonna die, but until then, let's party. Let's honor each other. Let's understand each other. Let's, like, break free from all this bullshit. Yes. Does this say free readings or coffee talk? That's the best thing you can do. And just, you know, tell the truth. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't make a victim, don't try and scare people into being in a lower vibration. You know? Don't fall for the witchcraft bullshit. It's like, it's your energy, baby. It's your mind, it's your thoughts, it's yours. Yes. And the only thing that we can do right now is come together. You love your... Yes, Ms. Dynamite's doing her Onoponos. Bless you. She is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Pay up or we're taking our future. Our future's already ours. We just have to understand our own power within it to change it, you know? And we aren't going to find it under fear and bullshit control mechanisms like money. You know, we're going to find it by working together. Hi, Bob. Or Boo. Oh, Boo. It's Boo. Hey, Boo. Oh, what's the use in it? I mean, people running around trying to make people fear this and fear that, and oh, that person's doing black magic, and oh, that person's an energy. It's like, okay, if they're an energy vampire, that's a really low vibration, and you got to be a really low vibration to allow that to come in, because at a high vibration, that energy vampire isn't going to be able to get close to you. So, you know, what's going on here? It's your energy. You own it. Nobody can do anything to you unless you allow it. They can't make you sick. Yes. But, I mean, you laugh at that kind of stuff. It's like so childish and immature and stupid, really. And people that fall for it and use it are just little tyrants. They're little monsters. Yes. You can tell there's the fearmongers out there trying to enable others to depend on them to lead them, and then you have the empowerers that are out there saying, you do you, boo. Only you can do it, you know? Okay, I'm going to ask again, does that say free readings or does that say coffee talk? Because, you know, I do both of them. Debt is, like, nobody owns shit. Everything here is temporary. People need to understand, we come here with spirit, we're going to leave here with spirit, and that's it. Everything else is on loan. Nobody can own it, it owns us. People are stupid. Quit it. You know, this is easy. Whatever you're fighting over 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, it's like, you're going to be gone and it's still going to be here. And then what? You know, it's not yours. Obviously. Quit fighting over it. Shit. Quit using it as a power play. Quit fretting, you know. Let people do what they're going to do, because the universe responds to the truth of your vibration. It just does. That's the way it works. And there is a split reality coming, because in quantum physics there's this thing called quantum entanglement that with the Kali Yuga being over and the Age of Enlightenment coming in, there has to be a split reality, because the lower vibrations won't be able to survive the higher consciousness. It'll rip them apart, literally. And those are the ones running around in fear. So, you know, I gotta have my, they have their brains in what I call the 3 Ps. Their pockets, their pusses, and their penises. All toxic ego. Fear, fear, fear. Fear of losing, I don't know what the hell, or fear we're gonna lose it all eventually. It's like this. The only thing we have is spirit. Forever, anyway. You want to find your forever person? It's inside you. Quit looking. You know? Let it find you. You have everything you need already within you. The 3 Ps again? Okay, anything from the waist down is the way I explain it. It's either your penis, your pockets, or your puss. That's the 3 Ps. I want, I desire, I want, you know, it's all the lower vibrations. It's desire, okay? Desire is, it vibrates at 125 megahertz. Alright? Right above fear. Now, anger, everybody loves desire. Everybody thinks it's great, it's wonderful, and it's all that. And that's how you get things done, is you want it, and then you make it happen. And you work your ass off for nothing is what you end up doing, because you're a slave to your wants. Wants mean I lack, alright? All those vibrations, they hold fear, envy, hate, greed, lust, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All of that is like ego. It's physical ego. Now, anger, which is demonized. Everybody hates anger, right? Do you know that it's actually a higher vibration than desire? By 25 megahertz. True story. Check it out. It vibrates at 150 megahertz. Desire at 125. Gee. Huh. Think we've been lied to? Just a little? And anger. Anger is another, I mean, you wouldn't get angry if you didn't care, right? If you didn't care, fuck it, you wouldn't, see ya, you know? It's such a misunderstood thing, all these emotions. And we can't deal with them and heal them if we can't even talk about them without saying, oh, hate speech or this. Now, the truth is hate speech. Honestly. Truth causes people to have panic attacks. if they're at the vibration of fear and lies and, all the stuff that isn't true. Thank you for the follows, guys. Anybody want to come on and talk about like experiences, things that they've been through that, gave them a different perspective of something? A lot of people call it dark night of the soul, but yeah, you want to come on, swim against the current? We all just need some real up in here. And everybody is trying to get everybody to put a mask on to their comfort. And it's like, okay, go down there and there should be a button that says join live. You got to send me a request. It's down at, I don't know where. I've only done it once. But yeah, anybody, we can have like a bunch of people on here talking. But yeah, mine's at the bottom of the sea, swim against the current. Let's see if I can find you. I don't know. No. I can't find you. But put in a request. It's down in the bottom somewhere. See those three? There should be 2 little people. Mine shows 2 little people. A pink one and a blue one. Go down to the multi-guest, somebody said. Go, Tanya. Oh, there you go. All right. Oh, we got Jeannie T. One, too? Awesome. Welcome, welcome. I gotta turn it off. Hi.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What you got going on, girl?
Uh, so I just kind of joined your live for a minute and heard what you were talking about, and I guess one of the biggest things that stands out for me is the issues that we see in life with ego. And
Oh,
that's why I sent you the comment about um, what you might think about the ego. That's kind of where I started my spiritual journey, was coming out of programming, belief systems, things like that. And so the big one for me was Christianity. Um, and so that's kind of why I wanted to say something, I guess, is because I feel like that seems to be where people start their path, is something just doesn't feel right. And that's where I started mine. Like, I realized that what I had learned and what I had been taught was not who I am. And so I
and
think that
you,
encompasses like the whole thing about ego, but there's so many people that have so much to say about what it is entirely, but I think it's just that we're programming.
well,
Um,
actually, ego
what
is
do you think?
is how you identify yourself in
Hmm.
in relationship to the world. Now, it could be either a divine type ego or a toxic type ego, but
Yep.
as again defined by the world. But you see, here's the thing: we're taught not to judge, right? But in any
Yep.
individual situation, we have to judge that situation by what's good for us. What keeps that divine intelligence in us from being um, misused, mishandled, basically obliterated by somebody else's thoughts of who you should be.
Hmm. Yeah.
If it goes against what Buddha once said, if you hear something that doesn't feel true to you, even if
Hmm.
I said it, then don't listen. It's that easy.
Right.
And if you don't listen, see, people are out there trying to know. I gotta know. I gotta be the smartest person in the room. I gotta be this. I gotta be that. Everybody's gotta look up to me. And it's like, I don't want to know anything. I just want to understand. You know, you can go over there and know, but I want to get down to the basics of why what you know isn't working.
Right.
That's all there is to it. And I think it comes like religion. Religion is so busy telling us what we shouldn't be, but they never tell us all the beautiful things we can be. So they're focused on the negative. You know, where's the possibility? Where's the God in that of, you know, all things miracle and all things. eh, So, I mean, I just guess anybody that is looking outside of themselves for their answer is looking for validation from the world. And to me, that's kind of ego. They should look toward the truth that's in them, that was put in them by the Creator when He judged you and deemed you worthy, or whatever whatever you want to call it. We all have this little piece of eternal consciousness in us. It was trusted to us. And when we came here, agreed to come here and do our part for it, which is to create the world in for peace and harmony and love and be good stewards to the earth and to good stewards to others, understanding that, you know, we have the ability to influence. And how we use that is like our responsibility, whether it be good or bad. Um, Sometimes if I go into a situation, you have to use discernment. Like if you come up and you come up and you're a real bitch to me, like, but I know you're a sweet person, right? I know you're a sweet person, and I'm going to say, wait a minute, she's having a bad day. I'm going to come up to you and I'm going to say, honey, you must be having a bad day. Do you need to vent? You know? Whereas somebody over here who I know is just a cantankerous bitch and evil and just tries to make everybody's day icky, all right, they bring that same action to the table, and I'm going to react a different way to them because I'm going to shut that bitch down. It's just like that. You want to pee in my Wheaties? Here, you take my first. You can take the first bite. Open up, you know, and that's kind of like understanding your worth and understanding others' worth, not just by what they say, but who they are. And we all have that same piece of eternity. It's an eternal truth in all of us. And it's simple. Ego will complicate that simple truth. You know, if it's not true for every man, woman, and child on the planet, it shouldn't be considered a divine truth. Because God don't play no favorites, or the divine matrix, or the eternal consciousness, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Well, I haven't.
I think too. There's probably, it seems like a war within the self. So the moment that you look within yourself to find answers, it's like, I don't know if this has happened to you, but just as a spiritual kind of experience for me, it seems to have like this resistance. Like you'll know that you're on the right path, you're going the right way, you're doing the right things, you're meeting the right people, you're treating people with kindness, you're helping them, you're doing the things that you're supposed to do. And it's like, there's a huge energy shift for some reason. Like you end up going into like maybe feeling like a little bit backwards. Like you'll get these thoughts that say, well, why am I doing this? No one deserves that. What's going to happen to me? Or what am I going to get out of it? And I guess that's where that comes in. And that's the next stage in that battle you're talking about.
That's the freak out stage.
Yeah.
That's the freak out stage where
Right.
where it's like, oh my God, I'm standing here all alone in this world and nobody sees me for who I am. And all I'm here is showing up to be real, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. I'm trying to discover that. Will people get the fuck out of the way and just help? You know, hey, I'm here. Yeah, I get it. But it's okay because what I realize is that in a world full of lies, you're a truth. And that
Yep.
those lies aren't going to want to accept that you exist, because then there's no excuse for them to be what they are. So they're going to rally against you, and they're going to rebel against you, and they're going to try and hurt you and make you into the lies that they are. But it's like this: you've already probably seen enough in your lifetime to understand that they're the ones kind of that have the problem, you know. If they're out there preaching non-judgment, they're making you less than just because you won't accept their lies. Whereas if you tell the truth and they won't accept your truth, and it, the truth of simple truth. Usually, the truth of the divine, you can see it through the eyes of a child of innocence. It's beautiful. It's honest and raw, but what happens is we get complicated with ego as we go, oh, we gotta be this, we gotta be that, we gotta seem like we're this, we gotta seem no. So
Yep.
you're a piece of real in a fake world. So yeah, carry it as a badge of honor, sister. I mean it. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And somebody said, oh, well, they called me brave for being real. And you are brave because you're going to get attacked. You're going to get attacked and lied on and slandered and, just because you take on the hard stuff, the real stuff, Yeah, I feel pain. It's real. I feel it. You're going to see it. That's how I hold you accountable for the energy that you brought into my world. But my pain is a symbol that I care about you, that I love you, or I wouldn't have this pain. But when people show us our pain, we automatically go into defensive mode because we're trained to. And how do we change it? We see it for what it is, and we start reacting to it for what it is. And people out there who have had trauma, even trauma is an entity on itself. It's not yours. It's not theirs. It wasn't the person who gave it to them. The only thing that we can do about it is stop the patterns. It wasn't our trauma. It wasn't even about us. No, we didn't. It was about that person not being able to deal with their pain. So how do we deal with pain? We talk about it honestly. We get down to the truth of these emotions, but people don't want to do that. So I think you're wonderful. The loss will go away. You will find your tribe because we're all coming together now in the gathering. I predicted it years ago. So I'm excited to see it. But don't stand in fear. Don't be afraid. These people, the only reason that spirit will not give kindergarten homework to college.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're a warrior, and I'm a warrior. And anybody that chooses faith up here is a warrior. That internal knowing. But we can't. It's kind of like the Indian story with the two wolves. You said there was a battle going on inside you. Well, if we have two wolves inside us and we're starving one of them,
Right.
We're killing half of ourselves. So here's a thought. Why don't you feed all the wolves? You have a pack mentality and you go out there and change this world. Instead of, demonizing one half of you, how about trying to, instead of saying, oh no, that doesn't exist, that doesn't exist. When, wait a minute, you're an empath. There's hate all over this world right now, and you're saying you don't feel it. Then you're not an empath. But, we're so busy denying, how are we supposed to fix it if we're denying it? So this is all the kinds of stuff I think about. What about you? I'm going to shut up now. I talked too much.
I mean, I guess it's very true because it seems like this year there's been a lot of different things that people are not noticing. Astrologically, we have a ton of things going on. There's a ton of movement. There's a ton of energy increase. We've had 3 portals open up since 1/1, which was the first one, and then we had another one on the 2nd of this month, and the next one happens to be a friend of mine's birthday, which is March 3rd. And so there are like some synchronicities that are not being paid attention to, and each time a portal opens there's some type of energy shift. At this point we're seeing a lot of that, and like you said, if you're an empath you're feeling it, and so you're not able to just turn it off, and it's like you're constantly trying to figure out, well, who's in need of, you know, what I'm feeling.
That's why I put it in the universe's hands. I send that energy to the universe and I say, whoever needs it, you decide. You know better.
Right.
So
Right.
unless somebody wants me to aim healing,
Yeah. Yeah.
then I
Absolutely.
don't. That's what I do. And actually, one of my friends caught a healing yesterday from. We were doing the healing. She didn't ask, and I just sent it to the universe, and she was like, "Yeah, about the same time." Boom. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, Valerie, are you wanting to come on, girl? Are you wanting to come on and talk, Valerie?
I think so. I saw something come up there on the bottom a
Well,
little
I'll
bit.
bring you up, woman. There we go. I'll bring her up. See what
Okay.
happens. Hi, Mama.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. There's
Well, I
one of
can't hear
my
you that good.
this girl.
There you go.
This
I'm
girl
still
has.
waiting on my candles. They're supposed to be here by 9 p.m.
Oh, your candles? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still waiting.
Candles.
It says by end of day or 9 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah. What? Oh, I was just looking for it. Because my phone's dying. Hang on, I gotta plug my phone in.
Okay.
What the
So
heck?
we were just talking about the difference between fear and faith, Valerie, and you've been working with me for what, a couple of months now?
At least a month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what have you noticed?
What about what?
Have you noticed any difference in like yourself, your attitude?
Oh yeah, yes, I've learned, to calm down more, not to yell. Something I have. I've learned to
Yeah.
hold my tongue and stuff, and I've learned all
What
the
about your
phrases you have
mindset?
taught me, Alice, and I say them every night. Every night. Especially the one, happy, no, where we go?
Happy, healthy, and healed.
Healthy, happy, healthy, healed.
Yes.
I say that one a lot.
Yeah, whenever we're upset or we see
Right,
somebody
that's when I say
yeah,
that one, yeah.
and we see them as happy, healthy, and healed.
Yep.
That's what I send to the universe is happy, healthy, and healed.
Yeah,
When
it
I do
works. It
healing.
does work.
Yep. That quick
So,
too.
what?
I said that quick too. I mean, results happen pretty quickly.
I know. It did.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember crying and everything when you told me, remember?
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just spirit working in your life when you have that emotional rush because Greg
And
Braden is proof.
I feel like I cut the cord to my daughters temporarily.
Well, it's your daughter. There's always going to be some kind of cord because it's your daughter, but you cut the enabling strings.
Mm-hmm.
So she has to learn how to stand on her own 2
Yeah.
feet instead of on
But
your
she called
toes.
me the other day or texted me. She don't call, she texts me.
Yeah.
And asked me to send, get in touch with her bondsman and tell her bondsman some stuff. And I text her back. I said, you know what, Jessica, you can do it yourself. And then I said to her, unless you're running, because I said, you sound like you're running. She never answered me after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a week ago.
Well, that's where we have to get out of the way and let, the divine
That's what I did.
handle.
I text her, sounds like you're running, Jessica. I ain't texting your, it's a bail bondsman that's after her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just get Belle then? Oh my goodness.
But Even my other daughter, I mean, the
That's
only one
not
that
good.
calls me is my granddaughter Summer, and me and her talk a lot. She may only be 19,
Yeah.
Alice, but she's wise beyond her age.
Age ain't nothing but a thing. I was wiser at 6 than most people are at 65 these
Right.
days.
I mean, some of the stuff she tells me for advice, I'm like, that should be me telling you.
Ah,
It's,
we can learn more from our kids right now than we did from our
well,
parents.
actually, my grandkids. Well, my
Yeah.
grandkids.
Well, you know what I mean. Don't discount young for stupid because a lot
Right,
of them
right.
are
I know
really
what you're
smart.
saying. I know.
Yeah. All right. Swim against the stream. Hold on a minute. There was a story that she was going to tell. Are you back?
Yeah, yeah,
All
Yes,
right.
it
I'm
is.
back. I don't think I had anything. I was just saying like in terms
Feeling
of like everything that is happening as far as energy movement is concerned, it's just something that people need to be aware of. There is a lot of healing potential that is happening at the moment. And so the things that we speak, the things that we do, the way that we connect with other people really, really counts.
yes.
And some of the messages that like I have received too from like my guides, my spirit guides have suggested that like actions and words mean more than anything with other people. If you care about someone, you really have to think about how you step forward. There's a lot of traps and a lot of things that people will, I want to say, kind of drag us into with their circumstances, their lower vibrational energy. And it's up to us to be able to kind of step back from that and decide how we want to deal with that and if we want to take it on. Like we have the power to be able to say, okay, no, I'm not doing that. That doesn't resonate with me. That's something that belongs over here. It's something that that person has to learn. That's their lesson. So that's kind of what I want to say to that is in challenge, in hard circumstances, people have to learn that lesson sometimes on their own. I mean, we can send care and compassion and positive energy and love and light to them, but it's like at the end of the day, that lesson is meant for them. And that's a really hard thing for me
It
right
is.
now, even though I can say that.
It's
Yeah.
hard for Valerie too because she has a tend to want to she tends to want to help out a little bit more than she should sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
and give a little too much and be a little and not let people do their thing, you know.
And that lesson comes from being in a twin flame journey. So I have two of them. I married one of them and I have two of them that I'm caught in the middle of. And so with
Ooh.
that, yeah, you get pulled back and forth. Yeah, and you learn really quickly like how you're supposed to respond. And it's a lot of healing work that has to be done for them and not so much the person that stands still and is not running. But there's a lot more work for the twin than there is. I mean, it's equal on both parts, but I think the lessons are more on one of them side, if that makes sense.
Well, it
So
depends. You know,
Uh-oh.
yeah,
they're operating in
and it
fear or faith
changes a
again.
lot.
Yep.
Fear, faith, truth, or lies, you know.
Yep.
You can tell who's doing what, but I kind of skip that whole twin flame idea and I just say spirit's my twin flame.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah.
that's done the
Exactly.
same can is my equal. Anybody that understands that concept that spirit is my twin flame, anybody that understands it and does it, they're my equal. And
Anyway.
that's kind of the way I guess escape that drama
No. Okay, fine.
because it
Yeah.
is the twin flame is the ultimate karmic relationship
What the hell?
or the idea of it anyway.
Yeah. The idea. Yeah, for sure. And I think too that that's another ego ego part as well as, you know, getting caught up in making that like your complete, you know, journey is what's
That's
going
kind of
on
like
with
the
that. And
chosen
so,
ones, don't you think? It's just gotten, you know, oh,
yeah,
hey, there's
yeah,
only a few of them, so everybody jump on the bandwagon. Everybody, yeah, and it's not, in wanting to be special, you're all the same. All right?
hmm, yeah,
Because that kind of special, it's not like, oh, you just wake up one day and all of a sudden you're chosen. No, the chosen ones that are chosen because they've chosen. They've chosen to live a certain way and be a certain way, and you know, not to wear masks for other people's comfort, not to pretend.
yep,
And it's not an easy life, so it's not like you pay for that. You really pay for that, and it's not anything that should be glamorized. You know, twin flame is a hard path. What they're
yeah,
calling the chosen ones is a hard path. You don't just wake up
Ah,
one day and that's you. You know. And it's not
no,
like that energy picks any one of us as special, you know,
yeah,
because we're all created the same. It's we have to choose to be special for this purpose and not our own. And that to me that's what chosen means, that you
oh,
can't
come on.
don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, and don't make a victim.
exactly.
You know?
And it's not the definition that like we understand. There really is no definition.
Right.
I don't know. I believe in, you know, the divine part of things, synchronicities, things like that. Just because I've been shown that they're true. I mean, I think, you know, there is that really significant energy that everyone is familiar with, and so it's however you connect to that.
Hmm.
But being able to step outside of your own head is probably the most important thing, and
Yes,
like
the
rip
bigger
away
picture.
the things.
Headspace.
Yeah, yeah,
The bigger picture.
Oh, what the
And
hell?
if you can't see past your own nose, there is
Okay, you
a
stupid
bigger
thing.
picture that you
Look,
won't be able
didn't
to
even
see.
tap right.
You know. But what do you think about people defining the divine? Don't you think it's rather egotistical for somebody to say that God is this and God is that and this and that? I mean, don't you think that's like a personal relationship?
yeah. And isn't it interesting because we really don't know? And so my thought on that is that man has created his own definition.
Well,
So
what
there really
Whatever.
is. Yeah,
don't you think that when we
Not let me
define the
learn.
divine, that we put its ability to work for us in a box of our knowledge, and that we're missing out on something there?
yeah, correct. Absolutely.
Like I just think it's really a messed up way of. It seems backwards to me. I mean, everybody wants to think I'm backwards, but you know, we're so dependent on everything else. Piece of crap. Anyway, so that's like what you've heard about the psychic showers, right? And the psychic baths, how you go in there and you picture the water is all glowing and you clean yourself in it. And it's like, I
Yeah.
even feel like we're doing that backwards because, again, we're depending on something outside of us to feed what's inside of us when we should be using the water as taking off what isn't true and letting that glow from come from in us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same thing with intention too. I mean, intentions are within. It's not necessarily something that needs to be externalized, and that's why like, you know, going down the path of, you know, trying to manifest intention is not my thing, so to speak, or something that I would say I do. So I'm speaking of spell casting when I say that,
Oh yeah, I don't believe
because
in spell cards. Well, I mean, even saying a prayer is a type of spell, but
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't think that it matters. I mean, if I think the reason why that's a popular belief is because man has to have, or a person has to have something tangible. So we believe what we see to be in our reality, but that's the ultimate illusion, is believing that that is the most important thing. I feel like that type of stuff just kind of feeds the ego, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, because reality is temporary.
Yep.
I mean, everything in reality is temporary. We all think that, oh, yeah, we own this plot of land, or we own this, we own that. That shit's going to be there long after you're dead. You
Exactly.
don't
We don't
own
own
stuff,
anything.
it owns you. And so
Right.
we aren't responsibly attached to anything or responsibly detached from anything. We aren't responsible at all with that superpower,
Yep.
really, or understanding.
Yep.
And so many people are like stabbing people in the back and doing stuff for status and you know, how they look to everybody else, and it's like, so yeah, I kind of feel you, and that's what I mean on ego.
Yep.
Those people out
Yep.
there do, you know, you have to be perfect this and perfect that and perfect, you know. Even the holy books say that the last perfect person that supposedly walked the earth, look what we did to him. I don't want to be perfect. People are stupid.
I agree. And I think, another part of this too, like since we've been talking about, the ego is image. And the image that, people want to create. And even that's kind of mentioned in, the Bible, or however you want to say that, sacred texts talk about that image. And that's exactly it.
Yeah.
What do you want someone else to see you as? You mentioned that external validation earlier, and that's what brought that to kind of my awareness. Was you mentioned like how people, if they're looking outside themselves, they need validation. And so that's, I think, where that image comes from, is needing to present something to someone to make yourself look a certain way, so that you get what you want from them, if that makes
So
sense to
that's
you. So it's not about,
manipulation. That's not real.
yeah,
That's not allowing things to happen and unfold by the truth of the energy at hand. That's manipulating for your
right,
desired outcome.
yep,
And your
yep,
desired outcome may not be what the desired outcome of the divine matrix and the truth energy is. So, you know, then we wonder why we end up unhappy because we put on a false face to get what we want. And then we
exactly,
tell lies and don't follow our words and back. We don't walk the walk and talk the talk, you know. We like to talk the talk, but not walk the walk. And it's all evident, you know. Why people try
yeah,
and do that kind of stuff, I don't know. It's just silly. I'd rather
it
be
is.
happy.
Yeah, yeah, it is. One of the funniest things, like, the universe, and the universe has humor anyway.
Oh yeah.
One of the funniest things that I saw was, we just talked about image, and this story comes to mind because this just happened to me recently. I know that exercise and like physical appearance is a huge thing for a lot of people. A lot of people. And so anything to kind of achieve that, outside validation, kind of bolstering up the self. And I saw, like, I live in Montana, and so there's a ton of snow right now. The
Oh, I
weather is
love Montana.
terrible. And I saw two people running last week in the snowstorm. And I thought to myself, that's the humor of the universe, is like showing me like how important is that for the human to like to run, to be, notice that they're athletic, right? So yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Malik. But that just means that you have something better on the way. When one door closes, another one opens. That's usually the way it is. Did it purposely. Yeah. Jealous of you, baby. Let it go. You got a better place. You got a better place to go to, obviously. But don't worry.
Be happy.
Yeah. When you start looking, when see, that's what people. The divine isn't going to put anything in your lap. I mean, we have to work for it.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go out there and look, even if it's look in the paper and circle a job and go put that. Use your intuition. I could tell you a story about that. And my ex-husband, he got so mad at me. Somehow or another, I circled a job of welders in a page and a half of welders, and the shop that I took him to for this interview was one of his old foremans. And it hired him on the spot, and he was like, "Damn it, I wanted a week off." And you weren't supposed to. He was like, "How did you know?" And I said, "I didn't. I just circled
Come
around. That's what I felt, and boom, there it was." So you trust yourself, baby, and just know that that wasn't for you. You said so. You're evil boss. Why put up with the evil boss? Fuck that kid. Pardon my French, but evil is like life's too short for that shit. Go be happy. Yes, I betcha.
Yep. That's what
Because
counts
they
anyway.
love you, and that's why you're not theirs. Because see, that's what happens when people love you. People get upset, they get angry, they get because it's not them. Because they're in a spirit of competition, which competition never has a divine outcome. Because a divine outcome is everybody wins, everybody gives, everybody takes, everybody wins. That's a divine outcome. That's how you co-create responsibly.
Always give and take, give and take, give and take.
Yeah. And if you're doing all the giving and you ain't getting no getting, that's people that you're enabling to do that to you, you know? Because the people that are there to co-create, they're going to bring something back.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's going to create more. And it's like, that's how we change the world, is through the responsible co-creators and not the fear mongers and the bullshitters. So, and that's what we're doing. We're coming together as communities right now, supporting each other, not competing with each other, not working from spirits of envy and fear and all that crap. But that being said, you guys, please be careful with your energy. It's very precious. And there are people out there willing to suck you dry and try and pull you into fear and try to pull you into this and try to pull you into that, as she said. And not accept their bullshit or what they say about you.
Yeah.
Because they'll try and pull other people into their fear and say you did this and you did that, when you can't do anything to anyone else unless they allow it. I don't care what kind of spells they throw at you. I don't care what kind of fear they put at you. You are responsible for your own energy. It's yours. If you're sick, that's because you have some kind of thing in your mind that is making you sick. You're allowing that sickness to happen. Nobody else has control of that but you. Health is your baby. I don't bless my food. I bless my body. I say everything I put in my mouth, you have the ability to make exactly what it needs to be.
Ow.
I trust my body. I don't trust the food. Are you kidding me? Ha! But I don't have to. My body's amazing. I control it. I order it. I heal it. I hurt it. That's just the way it is. I'm responsible for me. Nobody else can make me sick. Only me. And what I think about it. And that's why Nostradamus didn't get sick during the plague. He was treating people left and right for the plague. It never touched him. How? Somebody said it was because he was drinking absinthe. I don't think so.
What?
Yeah. No.
What's your thought on that? Swim against this.
Yeah. Knock on wood. That stuff is a trip. So I don't know how anyone could survive off of that, but I don't know.
I mean, don't you think sickness is a mindset, just like everything else?
Yep.
So, you know, if you get sick, you have to be able to allow that sickness in somewhere, which means you have to be worn down, worn out from giving too much, not, you know, not
Yep.
loving yourself, not honoring the truth of yourself. So,
Yep.
and that's kind of hard to do because we can't see ourselves clearly. And that's why we go out and we look for all these amazing people to fill us up. And we aren't realizing that we see that amazing in people because it exists within ourselves. Otherwise, we wouldn't recognize it. So we already have it. It's not like we're missing it. Yeah, the amazing you see in me is because it exists in you. So get over yourself and get up here. You know, talk. We need you.
That's what I'm saying.
And we're all the same. Nobody's better. Nobody's worse. I'm not looking for followers. I'm looking for equals. You know.
Yeah, same. Even on the channel that I have, yeah. I'm not
Yeah.
I don't look for followers. It's people who are thinking the same way and like are learning about themselves and know that what they have is valuable and it's that there's nothing as important as what is within.
There you go.
And that's a really cool thing. I don't think I've talked to anybody that for quite a while that I've connected with as much in terms of like hearing some of my same thoughts come out like succinctly. So it's been pretty neat to be on here tonight, like
Oh,
just kind
awesome.
of discussing it. Because I'm like, I'm alone.
Oh,
I
honey.
like by myself alone because I'm like, okay, that's weird. You know, you go from being one way to another way and it's like, huh, all right, I'm moving through timelines so quickly and I'm like, I'm not picking people up like because I can't do it. They're not like me.
Well, the people who are like you don't have to pick them up. You just
No,
have
they
to
just
vibe
show
with
up.
them. And then,
They
see,
show
it's
up.
like this. It's like
Yep.
this. The way that I see it is when you have one mindset that's not centered in their toxic ego, in their I want, or their three P's, which is their pockets, their puss, or their penises. Anything from the waist down is just low vibrational. If they're not centered in that, you know, one person alone can manifest some divine will in their life. Okay, two people with the same kind of thoughts and ideas can actually come up with a divine manifestation. But three people or more that have the same thoughts, ideas, and vibrations, that's miracles. That's miracle makers, man.
Yep.
Literally. So that's why they're trying to keep us from not coming together where we're all the same, which is that divine truth. And it's simple. And that's why we all miss it because, you know, the world is so complicated and we let it program us with its complication that it's so simple that we miss it because we're
Yep.
too busy having our opinions of the truth and saying, that's my truth. Well, okay, that's your truth. That means it's your opinion. But see, this is where we get truth all fucked up because everybody's out there saying, that's my truth. No, that's your ego based. Okay?
Right.
Here's the truth. And it's the same for everyone. If we start there, then we can learn to embrace and love and understand differences instead of fear them. But see, we don't do that. We automatically go to fear and hate and all that crap. And it's like we need to break through this. We need to break through this because everybody is their own expression of that truth of their divine connection. Whether it be right, whether it be wrong, that's between them and their whoever they call their higher power. You know, I can just judge whether it's right or wrong for me, and that's all I can. And embrace them and let them affect me. But it's our job, I think, as good humans to understand that love is a divine creator, right? It's the force of creation. Chaos is the force of destruction, which brings about creation. And we are so used to seeing chaos as a bad thing, but there's actually a beauty to it. Without it, creation wouldn't. It's the unknown, and we fear the unknown, but the unknown is truly undefined. The place possibility lies. You know? Oh no, instead of embrace. So that's why they have to have these pre-consumed alcohols. They figure they have it controlled and in a box, and not just let the divine create. They aren't co-creating with the universe first, because then they let go of the idea. Whoever comes along for the ride is there for a reason,
Yep.
And whoever falls, they have their own shit to do. Let them go do it.
That sounded.
Yeah. But you can't enable things that you know is destructive, because that brings karma.
Yeah.
I know. So, I think you're awesome.
I appreciate that. I feel like that, that's true about letting people learn their own lessons too. And they get pulled, like you get pulled back with them. So if you are not letting them learn their own way, you're getting pulled back with them. So it's like you
take on
someone,
their
yeah,
you take on their
yeah, yeah. You take on their stuff, their identity, that that they believe that they have, and you end up kind of losing where you are. You lose your foundation. So I'm like, it's not worth it.
Nope.
This is not worth it.
No, and it's like, and they won't listen when it's like, okay, this is what's going to happen if you keep going on the path you're on. You're going to hurt everybody. And then, of course, you're the demon for saying, I'm not going to let you hurt yourself and everybody else along with you. That just, oh, you're controlling. Oh, you're this. Okay, call me what you want. I just see you being destructive in an identity of fear.
Everything you say, Alice, that's me.
That used to be you, Valerie. Damn it. We're working on that.
Wow, it's true.
Well,
Used
it
to
used
be,
to
okay,
be, but
used to be.
Valerie is doing Onoponos. Or oh no, pono, no. I don't know. I call them Onoponos. And it's the recipe for a miracle. It's a chant. It's 4 simple phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you and thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you and thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you and thank you. Those 4 phrases are the recipe for a miracle, because it doesn't matter after you say them 108 times on a mala. You go into a meditative state, and as you're saying them, people are going to come to your mind, and you're going to feel. Keep chatting and feeling, because whatever you're feeling, whether it be positive, negative, it's going to either amplify it or balance the energy with the I'm sorry, please forgive me, which is the hardest part for us as humans to do. Yep. Because that's kind of like, and I tell people, if you want to do them, talk to the creator. Talk to the creator. Make it to the creator when you start it. Just start it. Just.
I think that was the first phrase you gave me, Alice.
Do what?
I think that was the first one you gave me. Those 4. I think that was the very first one.
Yeah. It's really a good energy balancer. Like you said, be careful what you say, be careful what you think. And think about those 4 phrases.
Yeah.
How are they destructive at all for anything? Oh, not.
Like you said about, me letting Jessica learn by her own mistakes instead of me always, every time she's gone to jail, I'll say, I've always bailed her out. What did that teach her?
Or you made her the queen of the jail by giving her a padded little bank account,
Yeah, you're right.
I know. You told me.
Go ahead, laugh at me. Go ahead, Alice. Go ahead, you laugh at me.
But you told me. It's like, but you see what we're doing, though. Because then what happens is if you make it too easy for them in jail and they come out here and they decide to go back in because it's easier in jail.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening with her. She's on the run, but she's just waiting to get caught.
Yeah.
She's going to be doing more in a year when she goes in.
Well, she needs to, though.
Yeah.
She needs to.
The most she's done is 6 months, and to her, it's like a hotel because me sending her, the canteen money and money to be on the phone and stuff.
And she could trade that, yeah.
Yeah, she can.
Yep.
You're right.
And that's what makes him the queen
She's
of the
done it with
jail.
me right on the phone with her.
Mm,
Well,
Yeah, oh yeah,
yikes.
I'm serious. Yeah.
but you got
Yikes.
this, Valerie. You see everything that how you enabled things to happen, and you're actively stopping that cycle.
Yeah,
That's
I
like,
just had to have someone else other than my son tell me because my son, we always get into an argument over it. I'm dead serious.
isn't it funny that you can hear it from somebody other than family, and you hear it, but if family tells you, it's
Exactly.
kind of like,
Right?
no, you're stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Because my son will say to me, "What the hell? What the fuck? You never even listen to me." But do you listen to me, Billy? No, you don't let nobody else talk when they want to talk.
Mm.
That's
You have to
family.
shut up and listen to everything you say, and then when you're done, you can talk.
That's
That's what he tells
family.
you. That's what my son says to me. Shut up and listen, and when I'm done, you can talk. I'm like,
See, if
Billy, I'm
my
your
son
fucking
said
mom. You
that,
don't
he'd
talk to
be
me like
picking
that,
himself
yeah.
up off the floor. I don't care how big he is. Don't talk to me like that.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Really?
Jeez.
I used to tell my kids, I brought you into this world. I can take you out.
Yeah. Well, my kid actually came up with it. I didn't ask for you to be born. I didn't ask
Oh,
to
yeah,
be
I've heard
born. And
that
I
one from
looked
my
at her and I
kids
said,
too.
and if
Yep.
you would have,
I
the
have heard
answer would
that
have
one from
been
my kids.
no.
I didn't ask to be born. Even Nate, my grandson, has said it to me.
Well, I told my daughter if you would have asked me to be born, the answer would have been no. So, and what's your point? you know.
We gave the answer. I like that one though.
All my kids were happy accidents. Yeah, I'm kind of like a smartass, like the universe as well. You know, you got to be able to laugh at the absurdities, or else we're a lost cause. Kind of
Yep.
like, okay, people go out there looking for fun. Why are you looking for fun? You are the fun. Just be it. You want fun? Be the fun. You want love? Be the love.
Right.
You want a nice, bright, sunshiny day in the middle of a rainy, close your windows and think about the last beautiful sunset you saw.
Right.
There you go. Bring it.
Imagine it in your mind. Yeah.
Exactly. You guess
I
your
remember you
messages
asking me
aren't
how
being
good was
read?
my. I
I'm
told you I
sorry,
didn't have a
honey.
good imagination because you told me to close my eyes and look like I'm looking at a light bulb,
Yep.
and I couldn't remember the rest of it, Alice.
Well, you're kind of like the filament in a light bulb, only you can see, like, inside the light bulb, it's all, like, dark or light, except for your silhouette. And you just start breathing in that light and exhale in the dark and breathing in the light and exhale in the dark. And pretty soon you're just like one big light bulb.
Okay, I got it now. See, I couldn't remember the rest of it, so I'm like, how the hell the rest of it go? I'm sitting here with my eyes closed, trying to picture a light bulb, and I'm like, I don't remember the rest of what she said. And I didn't. That's why I'm asking you now.
Yeah, you gotta. It's an exercise to like relieve stress and negativity and pain
Yeah.
within your body. It's a picturing of releasing that darkness that keeps us.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah,
Like I said, I am doing better because I miss my daughter Jessica, but I'm not sitting here crying about it.
that's awesome. And Miss Malik, I'm sorry, what were you asking? Let me go back and look.
Yeah, she was asking a lot of stuff. She lost her job, and because she's saying, I guess, and they're not being read.
Well, probably not because, that's a corporate mentality and you're just too good to be in that corporate mentality. I think you ought to look for a new one that more suits you, baby girl, honestly. I don't know what happened to swim against the current. She disappeared.
Yep.
Oh, she's back now. There she is.
Where did she go?
I don't
It says
know, but
down here,
she can
swim
come back
against
on.
the current join, but where'd she go?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's all about a mindset. And usually when, oh, thanks for coming on, Ladybug. You're awesome. You can come back on anytime you want. Usually got rejection is a protection. Okay, so your vibration was not for that place anymore, and you got something better to do. I promise you that. And I know you're upset, and I know you're hurt, and I know it's upsetting. I agree. I'm on here like all the time talking about stuff.
Yep.
And I also like have a YouTube channel where I take these talks and these are all recorded and I throw them up on the YouTube channel. So that was your first live? Well, you did awesome. You did awesome. I was scared to death on my first live. I thought I was going to poop my pants. I was so nervous. And now I just
Well,
don't give a shit.
that's the first time I requested to join Alice like that.
Well, I'm glad you did, Valerie, because you know, we all have our stories and we all have our things that we're going through that all requires a certain type
Yep.
of mindset to get through. Like letting go of the idea of this and that keeps us in fear. Losing. The
You
idea
scared
of
the heck out of me, Nathaniel.
losing.
What do you mean I'm live on TikTok?
She invited you to her live. You're live on TikTok.
I know that. I know. My grandson over here. You're live on TikTok. She invited you to on TikTok.
You go
My
live on your
grandson's
other
saying
account?
it's behind me. He's saying it behind me. Yeah.
Hi, Nate.
She said hi, Nate. He
Nate.
said hi. Yeah, Alice knows all about you.
Yeah, I talked to him before, kind of.
He's like, all right,
Hi.
all right.
The day that you were
What kind
trying
of
to
word
get
is
him to,
that?
the day you were trying to get him to school, I think.
Huh?
The day you were trying to get him to school and he was throwing a fit.
Oh
he,
yeah.
he kind
Yeah,
of
oh
talked to
yeah.
me that day.
That's sometimes that's every day, but the last couple of weeks he's been pretty good.
That's your ex. Oh.
Huh?
Soph. It says Soph. That's my ex, Nate.
Oh,
Yeah, I
oh.
don't think Nate is because Nate's like 11. I don't think it's your
13.
ex.
He just
Uh,
turned 13.
yeah. But Valerie, I'm so proud of you. I mean, seriously, you went from a nervous wreck to laughing and not being a nervous wreck.
No, I'm not. I'm not anymore. That's why
Yeah.
I'm so glad when I found you, Alice. I really am.
Well, yeah, it was all inside you anyway. We just had to remember it together. How about that?
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
I didn't do nothing. I'm just simple. I just brought a simple perspective. Did.
Like I said, Nate just turned 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a teenager now. Wonderful years.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I'm saying, you know. And this generation is totally different than when my kids were that age.
Yeah.
There wasn't technology when my kids were that age. You know what I'm saying? And all this crap.
No, kids actually went out and played, and they were healthy, and
Yeah, you knew. You know,
they
they
didn't
went out
sit
and
around with all
played.
these
My boys went
diseases
out.
that
They
doctors
came
give them.
home when the lights came on. That was the rule. And I mean, went out and played. You went out and played jump rope, or you went hide and seek when you and stuff like that. And now, with all the
Oh
technology,
my
kids
gosh,
don't
I
even
still
know what
play
it's
hide and
like to
seek.
be a
What do you
kid.
mean when you were a kid? I still play hide and seek. We used to like turn off all the lights, and I used to play hide and seek in the dark with the kids. It was
Oh
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
tag.
yeah, yeah. I did too.
Yeah,
My grandkids and stuff. Jackson, when I go over to see him, he'll want to play hide and seek.
yeah, it's
He just
fun.
turned 4.
And that was my idea when they started bugging me. I'd let them go hide, and then I'd just wait. Here's my instant of peace right here. It may
Yeah,
only
go
be
hide
like
so I
two
can have
minutes, but
exactly, exactly.
yeah.
It's true. You got to find somewhere to get a little bit of peace, even if it's only 5 minutes.
Oh,
Go
wait a
hide.
minute. So says Nate came over to my house and we played hide and seek in the dark.
Oh, that's Sophie. That's his ex, but they're still friends.
That's what she's saying. That was his ex, and I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't think so. He's
he
only
did go
like,
over there. It's been a while since he's gone over there. Her
oh,
parents
so
came and
he
got
is
him.
your ex.
Yeah, I know. The kids are so young. I mean, a relationship at freaking 13 years old.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember holding hands with Brent on the freaking playground when I was like in kindergarten, you know?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah, yep.
That was my little boyfriend, and then he had a twin named Brent. It was Brad and
Ah.
Brent, and I swear to God, sometimes they switched on me just to, I don't know, just to hold my hand, maybe. I don't know.
Kindergarten, I know I don't know. In kindergarten, I don't know. Kindergarten is completely different because you're so young. But then as you get older, it's not the same thing as that first time when you were in kindergarten.
Ex still married to that person. You're old. I'm 56 years young.
Huh?
I'm
When she
56
say
years
I'm
young.
old, X still means married to that person? That don't make sense.
Ex means that you're still attached to him,
Oh, I'm still attached
basically.
to mine.
Well, an ex means, yeah.
Like I said,
You
the
put
only
him
reason
in the
why we
rearview mirror,
reside
you
on.
just don't think about him anymore, and that's
No,
when
I
you know
don't.
you're
Not
done.
that way. No. The only reason why we reside under the same household, Alice, because we're raising our grandson. That's it.
Well, yeah.
And financially, you know what? These days, you got to have two incomes coming in,
Yeah, that's
and it's
true. And
hard
that's
when you
what they
only got
do. They
one.
make sure that you're miserable.
Huh?
They make sure you're miserable. That's what they do. You
Yeah,
have to
okay,
have
you
two
got that
incomes,
right.
so you have to
Remember I
be
told you that
codependent
paperwork
right
I had
away.
to do?
Yeah, they make you
That was
codependent
for
right away.
friends of veterans. They'll pay up to $1,000.
Yes. Oh, yeah, we got that
You're watching
GoFundMe.
my
I'm glad
live.
you
You're a
mentioned that.
weirdo. Okay.
We do have that
But
GoFundMe for you
anyways, I
going.
had to.
You can hear me on it. I'm him.
Hey, shut up.
Hey.
I had to take pictures and send the papers to that. I'm telling you, they had to get it by tonight. I'm like, oh my God. I almost cried, but I didn't. Because I got so frustrated with it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did. I didn't cuss or anything. I just got frustrated and I'm like, I'm going to get this done. Yeah.
Well,
I just hope he got
you do better
everything.
than me. Me and Elijah. We
Huh?
me and the prophet Elijah. We he had a dirty mouth too. Come to find out. Anyway, um,
You know, we both just lit a cigarette at the same time.
well, I'm gonna get zinged here in a minute for tobacco use, but I don't care.
You're going to get
Um,
what?
one of the things that I really want to tackle is some of the misunderstood emotions and the truth of emotions as they stand instead of what we've been taught they are, because we've been taught that emotions are weak, and they
Yeah.
aren't. They are not, because, that little brat child that was wounded so many years ago is still wreaking havoc in your life.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty
I mean, my
powerful
son
little
tells me
thing.
all the time I wear my heart on my sleeve. All the
Hmm.
time. Yeah.
But we're supposed to. I mean, we're supposed to give everybody the chance to um, co-create. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Beanie. Co-create and understand love and give and receive.
Exactly.
But see, if we don't wear our hearts on our sleeves sometimes and be that vulnerable to be able to bring that love, then some people will never know what that is.
You're right.
So they don't ever really have a choice to do anything better, because, like you said, you're having to be codependent on your ex just to survive.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I couldn't live by myself
Right,
alone
but
and raise
then,
Nate by
what kind
myself.
of a relationship is that in the overall energy of the house? You know what I mean? So it's
No, say
bringing
that again.
misery. It really does. Yes, it is for real. The inner child is for real. And I
Yeah,
put
I
up a
believe that.
post yesterday where I sent my inner child because my inner child, it's a picture of me with a Raggedy Ann and Andy when I was like 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
And my hair was messy and I was barefoot. And I put up a picture today and my hair is messy and I'm barefoot. You know,
I
nothing's
had
changed.
Raggedy Ann and
I'm just
Andy,
56 now
but
instead of 6.
my grandkids broke up Andy. I don't have Andy no more.
Well, I had a crazy stepmother that tried to burn us all down in a fire that a
Oh,
Raggedy
damn.
Ann, they got burned up.
Damn.
And that's the only dolls I could really stand. I still think dolls are creepy.
Oh, I played with Barbies.
No, I don't
That's the
play with
only kind of
Barbie.
dolls I had that I played
I
with.
didn't like Barbie because everybody like compared me to Barbies when growing up,
Oh,
and it's
really?
like, yeah, it's
Well, then
like
I
I
wouldn't
didn't.
like Bobby either.
Yeah, I'm not a plastic toy. Get away from me. I have a brain. I have a heart. I have a soul.
Yeah, it's true. Exactly.
You know. But anyway, what do you guys want to talk about? Seriously, what do you want to take on that's hard that you think we should
I
talk
don't
about?
know.
What do you find as a challenge these days, Valerie?
I've never been known to start conversations. I
What do you
usually just jump
what do
in.
you find as a challenge outside of the digital Diablos and paperwork
And paperwork.
and your children? Yeah, you said you had to do paperwork, and it's like no.
No, I got it done, but
Yeah.
I'm just hoping the guy got it and, the pictures themselves are clear enough. I don't want to have to do it all over again. No, 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 no.
Well, don't
Well,
don't
what
say
it is,
don't.
some of them, the ink, it's not that dark.
Yeah.
So even taking a picture, you can barely see because the ink's not dark enough.
You can't fax it.
Huh?
You can't fax it from your
I could,
computer.
but then that means going to the store or something to fax it, and I got
Oh,
it all through.
expectations of others. That is a good one because
I
it's
sent
like
it to his email address,
people
so
talk about expectations like it's a bad thing. I mean, you should always have expectations of yourself, but you should always like expect that your efforts will be, um, well, I wouldn't say boundaries. Boundaries are a type of expectations, if you think about it.
yeah, I agree with you, Alice. Yes.
So have expectations for yourselves and boundaries for others, and then everything's fine. But boundaries are the same as expectations for others. So who gives a fuck? you know, it's all the same shit, isn't it? It's just people want to be picky. So boundaries are expectations of how you expect to
Yeah,
be
I had to
treated.
make
And
boundaries with my kids. I mean, yeah.
yeah. And that's what I mean. People don't understand that, true wisdom comes from this idea. If your mind existed separate of your body and your emotions
Yep.
and your soul, and you asked it a question, what would its response be if it had absolutely no idea that anything else existed but itself? And then ask the same question and try to discern what your soul would say, and try to discern what your body might say, and try to discern what your heart might say. And you'd be amazed how you'd get what seems to be different answers, but it's actually saying all the same thing.
It's the same. Yeah.
Just a
Everything
different
combined.
perspective
Yeah.
of the same
I
thing.
get it. I understand.
Yeah. Because there's only one truth, and your body, your mind, and your spirit, and your
And you're
heart,
so,
and
yeah.
it instinctively knows it. So it's not like it's going to go out there and try and fuck you up,
No.
especially if it doesn't know you exist because it's existing as its own entity, solely independent. And
Yep.
if you look at the perspectives from each one of those and you listen to people out there in the world, you can kind of guess where they're operating from, even though they're saying the same thing. That's like science saying crying is good because there's this scientific explanation about,
Oh, I don't remember what it is they say, but crying is good because what? It cleans your
well,
eyes?
scientists say crying is good because it actually, when you cry, your body produces certain hormones that will be washed out into your tears. And salt is purifying, so there's like a real scientific backing to crying
Right,
is good
right.
for you. And especially since it happens up here in the head where all that head freaking chemistry goes on,
Yeah.
um, comes out your eyes. It's right there by one of your main
Yeah, and,
meridian
and when you
joint
cry,
points.
it's like salt.
But
That's
then if you think about the same relationship to the earth, what does water do to the earth? It cleans away the muck and helps it to grow and da 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 da. It's purifying.
right.
Like you leach out buckeyes with water. You lay them in a stream for 7 days, and it takes all the tannins out, and then it's clean to make flour out of.
Mm-hmm.
Buckeyes are not a worthless nut, by the way. That's a lie. They are very
Well,
good for you once you get the tannins out of the way. So, it's a purifying thing, and it doesn't matter if it's mind, body, or spirit. It's purifying. Water is purifying.
yes.
Expectations are a form of imprisonment. For whom? I mean, if somebody tells you their boundaries or expectations of you when you walk in the door, if you say something, I'm going to expect you to do it. That's just the way it is, and that's just the way it should be. You should be accountable for what you say. So that's where expectations, I think, come from, is what people say they're going to do. Um, that's just a give me on that. You should expect them to keep their word.
Yes.
But if you don't expect them to keep their word and you expect them to break it or have excuses or whatever, then you're making excuses and enabling them to not honor you or their word. So I
You are
think it
so
depends on
right.
where expectations are being used, whether they're imprisonment or not. Because some of them can actually help you along the way and make you want to become better for yourself. Somebody
Not
has.
for other people, for
It's
yourself.
like this. If my dad didn't have expectations of what I would be able to do, I probably wouldn't be able to do anything right now. You know? Because he expected me to be able to know how to build a house or run the bulldozer or cut down a tree. So guess what? I learned.
I don't know any of that.
Imprisoning is that there's no freedom to them. They create rules to live by and other standards. Well, as long as you don't create them yourself, like I said, by giving somebody your word and then breaking it, because then you should expect them to have expectations of you if you tell them you're going to do something. But if they're like just expecting you to go with, do whatever they want you to do for their reasons, then that's a different story. So there's two
Mm-hmm.
sides to everything. And that's why I say it depends on the situation. It really depends on the situation. There's no hard rules. There's only situations and a way to balance it or not. And some people, it doesn't matter if you try and balance it. They won't let you. Like Miss Malik up there, that boss would not let her balance any situation because she was obviously threatened by her. So she had to
Right.
get rid of her, and that's the way they work. It's actually a blessing. She doesn't want to be in that. And then when she gets out of the way, I think karma will take its place. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't judge the whole situation.
Come on.
So,
Mm.
oh, great job. We've been on live for 90 minutes. Woohoo!
That long?
I'm not getting far in, in like,
Wow.
um, what TikTok wants me to concentrate on, which is numbers. But numbers happen on their own. But the digital companies will, if you tell too much truth, so make sure if you find somebody you like, make sure you share them. Make sure you get them out to other people. Make sure that, if what they're saying is helping you see a new perspective at something that might be useful, share that shit. I do. I know that. How many other psychics do you see me share, Valerie? Seriously.
Say it again.
How many other readings do you see me share on my stuff?
A lot.
Yeah, other people are all.
You share videos too.
Yes, I do. Like Greg
Mm-hmm.
Braden. Greg Braden is awesome. You guys want some real shiznit on energy? Go to YouTube and look up Greg Braden.
Greg
Gregg.
Braden. Let me write that down, Alice.
Yeah, I actually, he's the blonde haired guy from Missouri.
Greg.
Braden. And he can explain it to a 5-year-old. Like the quantum entanglement, I call it atomic memory. If
Uh huh.
people understood exactly all the knowledge they had locked up inside just one atom of their body. Because if you think about it, let's think about this for a minute, okay? The first rule of energy is once it's created, it can never be uncreated. It just changes, right? So that
Right.
means that every bit of energy that ever was, is, or will be has already been. It's just like boom, it just suddenly existed an eternity ago, you know? Oh,
I see
yeah,
what.
an
Yeah, I see
eternity
what
is
you're
a long
saying.
time. So that one atom has had a trip through eternity. It's probably been everything there is under the sun, right? And it has a memory of everything it's ever been. Kind of like a little, what do you call those? Hologram, one little cell of a hologram
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
contains
yeah.
all the information to build a whole new hologram. Well, that's kind of like that atom inside of you that has been probably everything there ever was, will, or ever will be. And it has a memory of everything. And you have how many of those in your body? Like 3 trillion of them? Tell me how freaking smart you really are that you don't know about. Because once you get out of your own way, it seems like that you'll know exactly what you need to know when you need to know it. No matter if you're a PhD or a high school student, that slept through high school and now spends my time telling people to wake the fuck up. Isn't that funny?
Wake the fuck up.
Yeah, come on. And it's not wake the fuck up to what's going on in the world, but wake the fuck up to who you are and what ability you have to change it. You
Right.
know, it's not, don't wake the fuck up for me, wake the fuck up for you and your brother and your sister and everybody else, because when you rise, we rise. And that's just the truth of it.
Yeah.
But if you're living in fear and anxiousness and all that lower uh, consciousness stuff, then, it's our responsibility to bring ourselves back up because when we're locked in that low stuff, we're actually bringing everybody down.
Right.
So it's really our responsibility to not unpack and stay there and to be in that balanced state where we can go either way if we have to. Because sometimes that negativity is like kind of like the explosion. Explosion in downtown in a building is going to be bad, right? But
Yeah.
an explosion over a raging oil well fire is going to put it out. It's the same force, but in one situation it's good, in one situation it's bad. But, we judge the explosion as bad because it could do bad, but kind of like atomic energy. The A bomb came out of wanting to discover a new energy source. It didn't come out of wanting to create a weapon,
No. Right.
but people hijack the goodness and they turn it into something for fear and power and destruction. And that's always going to happen for everything that there is that's good. There's an answer to it that isn't so
Yeah.
good.
For every
And it's
question,
what
yeah, there's
we
an answer
decide to
for sure. Yep. It's
It's
true.
what we decide to do with it as a collective that counts. And,
Right.
this is how the 1% has gotten control of the entire world is they understand this manipulation. You know, they knew that Einstein was creating a power source, but they knew
Mm-mm.
exactly what they were going to use that power source for before he did.
Right.
So, you know, it's like we just got to be aware of what situation we're in and what we need to bring to each situation for balance, you know, to go back to 0 point where
Yeah, you
we're
got to balance
nothing.
it. Yep.
Yep. Because that's where peace is found, is from that balance. It's not from pushing the envelope to appear so good that you walk on water to everyone, or um, to be so bad that you have to hide your face behind a mask constantly to hide the
Right.
truth,
Right.
even though
Yep.
you're showing it in your actions. You can't really hide the truth, um, especially not from the universe, because that's instantaneous. Like, you will reap what you sow when it comes to the universe, because it will respond to the truth of you 100% of the time.
You ever listen to the news, Alice?
Now and then, you have
Do
to know
I don't
what's
know if you
going
see
on, but
that, if you saw that thing in Kansas City yesterday.
no.
Yeah, a couple people from my hometown, from right here, went there to watch I don't remember, it was a football game. And somebody went out there, a sniper, shot like 22 people, got injured, and one person, she was young. She was like really young, uh, got hit and she died.
Oh, wow, I'm gonna have to look and see then, because I know a lot of Chiefs fans. But
It
I
happened in
thought Sunday
Kansas.
what happened in Las Vegas. I thought Sunday was the Super Bowl and it happened in Las Vegas. Unless it was
No,
a high school
well,
game.
this thing happened in Kansas.
Oh, well, I was in Missouri, not Kansas. Okay, that's the wrong fairy tale. I'm Alice,
I know you're
not
out. Ow.
Dorothy. Mine's a rabbit hole. Kansas is
Okay, Alice.
Toto in The Wizard of Oz. Wrong fairy tale, man.
It wasn't a fairy tale. I'm just saying, I mean, that's why I hate watching the news sometimes. I mean,
Yeah. No, I'll have to see.
people have
I'll
all
have to
gone
find out.
crazy. They
Well,
really
yeah,
have.
people are
You know,
crazy.
especially the ones that are taking guns and going out there shooting people for no reason. What the hell is your motive?
I don't know. Didn't you watch it?
No, I did watch, and they're still investigating it, and they still they caught two of them, two of the shooters, because there
Oh.
was three, and they still don't know yet what the motive was.
Well, the last couple of them has been messed up in hormones because they were on therapy, some kind of therapy, but I
Oh,
don't know.
really?
Yeah. But who knows? I mean, who really knows? Obviously some messed up individuals that don't understand that live from that fear, you know. That's what
Yeah.
fear causes. That's what hate causes, is that kind of
No,
thing
and
to happen.
I think a lot of them have mental illnesses.
Yeah, well, that's what all those lower vibrations will do. They will make you crazy and scared and paranoid and schizophrenic and yeah.
I don't remember, I've never been paranoid.
I think there was a time that my sister talked me into taking a hit off of her crack pipe. And it was like,
What?
yeah, once. And it was like,
And you did?
yeah. Huh?
And you got paranoid, right?
Oh, God, yeah. I
I
felt like
know what it is because I was with a crackhead for 8 years.
I felt like my head was in like this big metal bucket, and every time somebody would say something, it went, bzz, bzz, you know, you'd hear it afterwards. It was funny.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, I was just sitting there waiting for the cops to come in, and it was like,
Oh yeah, like I told you, Alice, I was with a crackhead for 8 years. Okay, and every time he flip and smoke crack, he'd always go look out the window. Go look out the window. There's somebody out there. I'd be like, there's nobody out there.
yeah, it's crazy. I didn't like it, so it didn't work for me. And that's what I mean. I may have played a little bit in the minors, but none of it ever took because it
I didn't
just,
even like the smell of it.
no, it smells like nasty chemical.
Rotten eggs.
And it tastes even worse. So
That's what I
I
think
mean,
it smells like. Rotten eggs.
I didn't see the use in it. That's all I know. It's kind
Me
of
either.
like
I
drinking
don't
and.
understand. Crack, cocaine, what the fuck?
Well, I didn't either. It was just something to do at the moment, I guess.
I tried cocaine once. It didn't do nothing for me.
Well, a lot of people say, "Well, how do you know? You've never tried it." And it's like those are enablers. And then when you try it and you walk away anyway, then they start
Yep.
hating on you because you ain't got the problem.
That's why the only thing I smoke is my goddamn weed. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. And everybody says, "Oh, what do you smoke that for?" So I can understand you.
And that was good.
Honestly,
So I can understand you. I understand you better when I'm.
it lowers my vibration, so I can like understand where you're coming from here. Where that fear and stuff. But
Swim
yeah,
said she
drinking
never
and
had a
stuff like
desire
that,
for
it
those
just
things.
never took with me. The meth never took with me. The none of that. I never tried anything like heroin or
Me
I think I
either.
did acid once and I did mushrooms once.
I
I
seen
did
how other
mushrooms
people
when I was like
behave
8.
on them
My
kind of
oldest
drugs.
sister,
My daughter got hooked to heroin, hooked on
yeah,
heroin, and I seen what it did to her. That's why she's lost all her kids' hours. Shit like that. Drugs will do
yeah.
a number on you.
Well, that's just because she didn't understand herself. Again, she didn't understand her own power to have some control over her own environment.
Yeah, because I know she has low self esteem and all that crap, but I cannot build her up. I can only say, like you said, she's got to learn on her own.
Yep.
I mean, she's 34 years old.
Hell, I'm just learning it at 56. Damn. What are you talking about?
I think you learn every day, no matter how old you get.
Exactly.
You
I
never
don't even
stop
think we
learning.
stop after we die, honestly.
Right. Exactly.
So, I think, I don't know. I think it's going to be a great adventure. Everybody's like, how come you're not afraid of dying? Well, because I wasn't afraid of living. So why should I be afraid of dying?
Yeah,
That's what
it can
people
be
are afraid of
scary.
dying because they never lived. But I think when I die, I want to be a banshee. And I
A
want to
what?
go scare the shit out of people like Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates. And the only problem is my little bit of poopy phobia. I don't like poopy phobia. I don't like poopy, but if I'm going to scare the shit out of people after I die, I better get used to it, huh?
Okay, where's my bowl? Shit.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I want to do. I just want to go like terrorize evil people.
That's not nice. You go terrorize the people that did you wrong. There you go.
No, those are little people. I'm talking about the big ones that like really have had an effect on millions. Like, you know,
Okay, yeah, I do. I get it. Okay.
yeah,
Oh, where did I put it?
like
I'm
Sucky
trying to
Zucky
find
would
my
be on the
bowl.
list.
Okay.
You saw where he hasn't had fun in Congress, right? I said 10 years ago that that man's going down, and everybody says, "Who? Mark Zuckerberg? You're crazy. You're crazy." I said, "Watch, he's going down."
What man? What
Because I
man?
knew what he was doing to me, so I knew it would go crazy after a while, and sure enough, it did.
No, what man are you talking about?
Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook.
Oh yeah, I watched that the other day, man, and he had no answers, no nothing.
I
No
know,
compensation for the people that, yeah, I listened to it.
I know. I saw that pattern years ago, so, and I called him on it. And everybody's like, "You're crazy, you're crazy." And it's like, yeah, well, okay, so I'm crazy.
Right, well, look, it's happening. So who's the
Yeah.
crazy one?
Oh, it's always me. It's okay. I like being crazy in an insane world. It means I'm doing something right. You know? Just the way it is.
There it is.
Or it's one of my other favorite is demon. Oh, you're demonic. Okay, boo, bitch. Why are you still here? Are you stupid? It's like,
I told you, you always give me laughing hours all the
yeah,
time.
laughing is healing. So
What?
I said laughing is healing, so laugh
I know
away.
it is. They always say laughing is the best medicine.
Yep, it is.
That's what I've always heard.
But I'm gonna get off here because I'm probably gonna come back on later and do some free yes or no tarot.
Okay.
Because people like that too. They like
Yeah.
they like to know what their Tom and Harry Dicks are doing. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I wish they'd, worry about what the divine's thinking more than what their boyfriend is thinking.
Right, exactly.
But I end up giving them both, so it's all good. It's all good. Let's bring them back to
It's
spirit.
all good. That's right. It's all good.
Yep. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you. You guys
Love
are
you too,
amazing. You're
Alice.
stronger than you will ever know, and so much more of a miracle than you give yourself credit for. So if you stand in that, you can change this world. And I'll stand right behind you, cheering you on. Until next time, which is probably going to be tomorrow, I love you.
I love
Mwah.
you, Alice.
Bye, Valerie.
Bye.
Thank you, Swim Against the Current. You were awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna look you up because we should be like following each other. So, have a good one, guys.
You too, Alice. Ow.
Bye.
Bye.